the KOSS TWS250i. Catchy. Yeah, build quality. The bud themselves, it's pretty solid. You got touch controls here. It fits nice actually. Like you go put it in your ear, it kind of sticks up like this and fits nicely in the ear. Good angle. Yeah, these feel nice. I don't have any problems with the build quality. They do have a microphone. We are now listening to the microphone on the KOSS TWS250i. Yeah, we'll see if this sounds any good. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, totally fine. Totally fine. The case, my favorite thing about this case, so USB-C, that's not it, but you can fit these things in with regular sized foam tips. I don't have to use true wireless foams. I can use regular sized foam tips. That's awesome. Like there's not many true wireless that you're able to do that. So for that alone, huge props. How do these things sound? So the bass, it's a very interesting bass curve. It kind of just pops up and then it comes down. Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't like overall this sounds pretty decent actually. There's a couple things I've changed here and there. I kind of wish that bass was just maybe lifted up a little bit in the sub bass region just to kind of not have this shape. But yeah, the lower mids, they have a decent amount of warmth to them. They sound good to me. The rise into the upper mids sounds really nice to me. I think they did a good job overall with the mids there. You get into the treble, it does have some spice, just a little bit of spice there, and it is noticeable on some tracks. Essentially, occasionally like a snare drum hit or something like a slide on a guitar or like something will occasionally hit me in the ear. I'm like, ooh, I wish I could turn that down a little bit. So that treble peak is the main thing I would change about this because it's right where I'm most sensitive. But it does have a good amount of like bass to kind of balance it out, and like overall the tonality is like a fun tonality. It sounds fun to me. Let's talk about some songs. The Real Mackenzie's Chip. I've been on a kick of the Real Mackenzies lately. Essentially, it's like a punk band with like a Scottish, I think, singer, and it has bagpipes. Super cool. It sounded cool with this. It sounded really cool. The bagpipes had like a kind of forwardness to it. I really enjoyed it. It has enough warmth to kind of balance that out. I think on occasion, like a one or two of those like bagpipe notes would like hit me in the wrong way because of that treble peak, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It sounded pretty dang good to me. Ed Sheeran, Castle on the Hill. This one, I think it's because of the compression of the song, but the snare drum was getting to me. Like the percussion was getting to me at times. I had to turn it down a little bit. So I did have troubles listening to these at a volume I would like to listen to them at, only because of that treble peak. But they still sound good. It's just like I couldn't get to the volume I wanted to get to because of that treble there. Lights okay. Female vocals do I don't know, they sound clean to me, but like there is that like on occasion some sibilance I was getting. The occasional S, the occasional T, it was there. It was there. And yeah, it essentially comes down to if that treble peak was just a little bit more tamed, I'd have nothing like, yeah, I guess the sub bass too, but there's not a lot I would change. Like these sound enjoyable to me. It's just on occasion I'm riding that volume knob depending on the song because of that treble peak. Nas, New York State of Mind, I actually could turn the volume right up because of the way that the snare was. It's not an overly compressed song. I was able to turn that up and get a good volume to it. It sounded good, and the bass on this, it's really good for just about everything except something like Big Boy's Kill Jill, where the sub bass you're listening to those hits, right? And it's something around like 40 seconds or something. I don't know. But it's like, duh, 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 and it keeps going down. And then you hit that lowest hit. It does have a sense of kind of dropping out. You can hear it, but it has a sense of dropping out just because of how that bass curve is put out. Like the sub bass isn't dropping out completely, but it, in relative to the rest of the bass, it is a noticeable drop. And with this song, Kill Jill, you do notice that. So overall, I think these sound good. They're budget. They're pretty dang cheap. They come with standard tips that I didn't really even touch, to be honest. I just went for my foams because it can fit foams, which I wish every true wireless, if this can do it, and it's still a decent size case, like no bulge in the pocket. Like if these can do regular size foams, why can't all true wire? Like come on, people, give me the ability to use regular size foams on all true wireless. That would be much appreciated. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.